Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pass Club. We have a very, very, very exciting show for you today. We are getting into Georgia versus Alabama with our resident Georgia fan and our resident Alabama fan. And we're going to talk all the madness that occurred in college football this past weekend and NFL this past weekend. We're going to go to our sport court, give our good boys, which have been very hot, by the way, and then look forward to college football next week and wrap it up with the all-historic Blurby Derby. Let's go.
Welcome to the Pass Club. 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 The Pass Club.
All right, boys. Am I the only one that gets very attached to one singular cup? I have this cup,
any cup
right here. Any cup. So I will pull out a cup that I like, and if I start drinking out of that cup, I will drink out of that cup for 3 to 4 months at a time. Obviously, I'll wash it. Obviously, we're not just raw dogging the cup, but am I the only one that gets emotionally attached?
I am completely with you. This is my everyday cup. And this thing's huge. Look at it compared to my head. I probably rip 9 or 10 of these a day.
I love that.
I'm thirsty right now. I've been pissing all day and I'm still thirsty. I just keep ripping it. I can't help it. I'm just a thirst fiend.
Well, so Elkins, are you the same way?
Dude, honestly, I would not agree with you on this until just recently.
Okay.
My sister got me a Yeti for Christmas, and I love that thing. And I want to say from the day I got it, I was very healthily drinking water every day out of that cup. After those 4 or 5 months, though, Mal, like you said, I think I was just back on another cup.
I think we're a very cup-centric society nowadays. I mean, you think the ladies started it with the kind of
Stanley
with the Stanleys, and then the men, we just got bigger ones in our team's colors, and we're like, yeah.
This cup.
I like a lot of cups, but I'm not going to lie, Mal. I thought you were about to talk about the Ryder Cup that's coming up this week.
The Ryder Cup is coming up this week.
How do we feel about that?
So I was listening to the Golf Channel today. The Team USA kind of gets a say in the course and the course conditions and things like that. Obviously, we have our long hitter, Bryson DeChambeau. And a little thing I caught is the rough height is actually very low this weekend at Bethpage Black.
I noticed that in some of the photos I saw. It did not look very tall.
Which means Bryson can get after this ball, man. He doesn't have to hit fairways this week. Can just get after it.
Yeah, it's not like Oakmont where you're strictly if you're off the fairway, you're kind of toast.
Oh yeah. I mean, Bryson will be able to absolutely get after these balls. Shorter rough. Really, I'm liking Team USA. Got to get the monkey off our back. Got to beat these bastards. But I think this is the year we do it.
That's a great word. I love that
bastards.
Bastards. You bastards. Elkins, we need to talk. You look like you're in Afghanistan about to deploy. What's going on in your background here? I see a lot of plywood, and that worries me.
Well, for the people who have tuned in the past couple weeks, you would have noticed a different backdrop from what you may be accustomed to. But I'm also wearing a different jersey. So I'm back home in Dalton, where many of us are from, maybe listening in today. I'm wearing a Dalton Catamounts football jersey as well to pay tribute to these guys. I will say one thing real quick on the matter of the jersey and the backdrop. Most of us native Daltons, like I stated, but what you might not know about Dalton is we have a long history of winning football games here. And let me tell you, it has not been all winning the past few years. The last time the Dalton Catamounts won a football game was November of 2023, and they got the win 37-35 against Alatoona in there. It was not looking good, but they got
Shout out Brad
win.
Smith.
I was about to say,
coach. Shout out Brad Smith. We love that guy. We wish him the best at Altoona. Has it really been since 2023? Has it been
November
yeah, they
of
have been-
2023.
Oh,
And
that's
I'll
bad.
tell you,
Bad.
what's even crazier, I never take the time out of my day to just log on to YouTube and watch their games, but they play every Friday. They put in a lot of work. You know, we're scheming, trying our best to win. You know, lots of families, lots of grown men put a lot of time into these young men, trying to put them in the best position possible. And, you know, when you go 0-10, that's really frustrating. But what's worse than going 0-10 is going 0-10 two times in a row. And they got to win this year. And I really just got to say hats off to those guys. So that's the reason why this jersey's on me today. But yeah, guys, y'all wore the same jersey I'm wearing, and y'all can speak to this,
We did.
how important it is to this town.
Well, I was gonna say, Dylan, did we ever have a losing record while we were in
Not
high
even
school?
close.
No?
Not even
No,
close.
me
I
and
forgot
Dylan,
what losing felt like.
Elkins, did you ever have a losing record whenever you were playing football at Dalton?
Nope. I think we might have been one game worse than you guys, but we were still winning record.
I honestly forgot what losing was like that for a few years there. I think we only lost like one game in like 2.5 years.
Yeah,
But-
that was
Lots of
Yeah.
fun. And
Lots
that's
of fun.
really, to be honest, you know, that's why us three are friends at the end of the day, is through the brotherhood is probably a better word.
Brothership. That's
He
kind
makes
of fire.
brotherhood and fellowship.
That's kind of fire.
The brothership.
This is a brothership right here,
It's a
brother.
Hey, brother, I want you to rub
That's
that
so
D on your
good.
chest right there. Hey, you
Rub
want
it.
to do
Give
me
it
a
a little
favor?
rub.
Rub that D on your chest right there. Yes, sir.
Give it a little rub. I'm sorry, but brothership might be the most electric word I've ever heard in my entire life. I did not know how to explain what we had, folks, right here, but that's the word for it. I might make a damn shirt put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. Put it on a shirt. I'll tell you who's not having a great time right now and who's not winning a lot of games, and that is Clemson. I got to come out and say this. Dabo, we proposed it on the show last week. So unless you're one of the 100 people that listen to the show, which you might not be, you're screwed. He has got himself into a real hole, folks. And I say this with the utmost respect. That man has won national championships there. He did turn the program around. I think a lot of people forget that now. But his stubbornness when it comes to NIL and transfer portal has really taken its toll on this team. And it's very evident. I did see a great meme on the reels the other day where somebody, I think it was a Clemson fan, I'm going to assume it's a Clemson fan, said that they were stuck under the reign of Al-Qaeda.
Okay.
Al-Qaeda and Cade Klubnik. Klubnik's been not great, but he hasn't been I don't think he's been horrible. He's had a few bad decisions, but
Well,
yeah.
I was going to say, if you remember, there's a Dabo Swinney quote that said, whenever players start getting paid, I will stop coaching. And that is exactly what has happened, folks. Dabo Swinney just doesn't look like he's trying anymore.
But hey, man, he's
he's
55. He's not going to go just sit on a beach somewhere. Come on.
Hey, man, somebody needs to check his Amazon purchase history. I think he might have just bought a Ninja slushy machine. If I am Dabo Swinney, I'm hanging it up. I'm going to the island. I'm drinking pina coladas by the beach, and I'm calling it a career, quite frankly. If he's bought that Ninja slushy machine, I think that's the writing on the walls.
That's the tipping point.
Let's hear from a Bama fan who wanted to hire Dabo Swinney.
You know, wanting to hire is definitely a reach. In terms of wanting to hire, there's your Dan Lannings of the world. There's Kalen DeBoers in the world. You know, this is a guy that has performed really well at all levels. Dabo, can't say enough good things about the guy, but you know, it's pretty easy to point and laugh whenever they're playing like they are.
I think right now it's very easy to say that Dabo is a better guy than he is a head coach. I think that is Very
I
easy to
remember
say,
when he
right?
said that too. He's got a lot of quotes that are like they're starting to come up. You know, he said them
Starting to
2 or 3 years
unravel.
ago. He's starting to unravel on him a little bit.
He's starting to unravel.
Yeah.
But
It's-
God, I mean, I kind of feel bad for Clemson fans, but then I remember they're Clemson fans, and I don't really feel bad for them. So
Yeah, I mean, I've never met a Clemson fan I've had an issue with.
no, I haven't either. It's just
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I've ever met a Clemson fan, to be honest. Which is crazy, honestly. We're not far from them.
That's bull. You met Dabo.
I don't think he's a fan right now. Hey, if he wasn't contracted to be there, he probably wouldn't go to the games either, baby. I tell you somebody who kind of I halfway liked until this weekend is Arch Manning. We got to talk about the clip of him flexing on Sam Houston State. That's they're one of the statistically worst teams in the country. I get it. Maybe he's grasping at trying to get his mojo back, but that's a tough look. That's a real tough look. Shoved this coach too, I think. So, Elkins, what do you think about that?
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to allude back to that clip when I make my good boy pick of the week. But, Arch, you come from a family full of, football integrity at the end of the day. Nobody's preached that to him in his, 19, 20 years of life. He's better than that. And when you're playing an in-state school as Texas, Sam Houston State, these are like practically newborns on the FBS scene. I'm calling bullshit on you, Arch. That's unacceptable. A lot of people think Texas is capable of winning championships this year. And when you act like that, can't help but compare you to a 7-5 team that Alabama was last year, 8-5. But, got to be better.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't mind flexing, but who are you to flex? When you have a 56.3% completion rating, you have 579 yards through 4 games, only 6 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And you're flexing on a much inferior Sam Houston State team.
On a newborn.
With those stats.
Practically a newborn.
Y'all want to play a game?
FBS.
Y'all want to play a game real quick? I've got a couple quarterbacks here. So let's play. This is a game. The title's a working title, but it's name that quarterback that you have never heard of that has better first 4 games starting stats than Arch Manning. Again, the title is a work in progress.
I think we can get somewhere with that title. I think we can get somewhere.
Yeah, I think we can get somewhere with it. But this guy is TCU's quarterback in 2011. He sat behind Andy Dalton, got his start in 2011, 69.83% completion, 175 yards with 12 touchdowns and 1 interception. Does anybody know that quarterback?
What year was this?
2011, TCU starting quarterback.
TCU. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not even going to sit there. Elkins would be the one to know. He's got weird football brain like that.
Yeah, he's got that ball knowledge in the back of his head.
I can name like 2 TCU quarterbacks from that ballpark, but probably not 2011. And I was going to say Brandon Boykin. I don't think he was behind Andy Dalton at this time. The other guy was Kenny Hill, who played behind Manziel and transferred to TCU, I want to say.
No.
But
so this quarterback is Casey, and excuse me if I butcher your last name, but Casey Pashall. Y'all ever heard of him? Because I sure as hell haven't.
Can you spell that last name?
Pachall. It's Pachal or Pashall, one of the two.
Okay.
I think Pashall is. We'll go with Pashall.
The first one, yeah.
Alrighty. I got one more quarterback for us here. All right. Arizona's quarterback in 2014, a redshirt freshman, making his first 4 starts. 64.73% completion rating, 1,454 yards, yes, through 4 games, 1,454 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Name that quarterback.
That's actually insane. 1,000 yards.
That is that. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, Joey's not far off that, but still, that's kind of crazy.
You got us, Mal. I don't know.
That is going to be a new Solomon from Arizona.
That's a great name. Oh my God.
A new Solomon.
That's how do you spell that? How do you spell that first name?
A-N-U. A-N-U, a new.
That's a great
name.
New
Solomon.
That's a great name.
I say all this to say Arch Manning is dog shit.
Yeah, I'm very underwhelmed with him. I'm sure we're not the only ones. I mean, I think all of America is kind of just watching it happen. It's a train wreck right now, honestly.
It really is. I mean,
but
God bless him.
We'll see how he progresses. I don't know. I'll take a flyer, and we'll have to come back to that. Can we talk about? This is going to be a sensitive subject for some. Assault. I witnessed Max Gilbert get assaulted this weekend by a very shameful play. He got stomped. He got stomped on his kicking foot. And it was, I guess the UAB player had money last week and Max Gilbert lost it. I don't know what would make you do that to Max Gilbert. It's essentially a newborn, as Elkin said. Max Gilbert is essentially a newborn.
He's just a 15-year-old kid trying to make it in this crazy world, man.
Yeah, that doesn't have to be a long segment. I just thought it was crazy.
You know,
I still love Max Gilbert.
I saw the text you sent saying how dirty UAB was playing or something had happened. And, you know, I never put two and two together until I saw that clip. And I've got to say, there's no place for that in football, you know. Go do that to a tight end that has been blocking his ass off against you. But don't do it to the kicker. He needs his foot. Yeah. His foot is his college education.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do that at all, though. I mean, to me, that is
you got
the
me
NCAA.
You probably should never do that on any level. Don't go hurt tight ends.
To me, that's an NCAA coming down and revoking a scholarship like play. To me, I mean, just blatantly unprovoked. I mean, just assault.
Did you see Jackson Ross, the holder? Dude, he had to get held back. He just went ape shit. Like he just lost his mind. I know, but it was great. It was awesome.
I mean, the fact that the entire Tennessee team did not jump this dude, like I have no idea how.
If Max Gilbert would have made that kick, they probably would have.
Yeah.
You know, you got to say, like, kickers, more times than not, they got the most shooters on the team. As the kids say.
I would say, yeah. It's like somebody picking on your younger brother that's just now learning how to walk. That's what it's like. It's like, dude, that guy he just got here, you know? Like,
he's not going to go out and
he's smaller than you.
Yeah, target you on the kickoff and knock your helmet off, you know? He's never going to do that.
Yeah. Also, Trent Dilfer taking videos of Neyland Stadium quite literally minutes before kickoff on the sideline is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I did see that clip.
My dad was like, "Oh, he's just taking it in." I'm like, "Brother, the game's kicking off in 2 minutes. He's got to go talk to, Aaron Andrews, fifth string backup on the sidelines here in 10 seconds."
I figured we were going to talk about this, and I got to say these college coaches, they've got a life full of travel and not a life full of family, So I will give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, who knows what situation he's in. He might have a little boy who would look at that video and be like, wow, I've got to bust my tail to go play football at Tennessee one day, something like that. Maybe a seed was planted in a future Vol who could be really good at, kicker.
Yeah, but my counter argument to that is he had quite literally the entire day since they got there to do that. Like the stadium was
you're doing walkthroughs
like before they went in after warm-ups. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn got shafted, boys. Just moving on from that. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I've never blamed the refs kind of guy, but good God have mercy. There was about 3 plays in that Auburn game that were worth probably a 14 to 21 point swing for Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, Elkins is our resident Auburn hater. I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, but it was bad.
More times than not, you're going to see the refs quick to help out Auburn. And when you see it go on the other side, it's always blown out of proportion, really bad. Why did they call that? Why did they not call that? That was a fumble, and they scored a touchdown on it, but they called it incomplete. What's going on? Like, little brother needs all the help they can get to win a lot of games most of the time, but that was messed up. I think Auburn played probably a better football game and had a hell of a game plan for the Sooners, which is not an easy place to play. You know, go look up the renovations of that stadium whenever you get the chance. They made that place a SEC caliber stadium, and Auburn went in there and didn't have a lot of hope, didn't have a lot of momentum most of the time. But when they did, it felt like they just got everything ripped from them. Between the missed PI call, the scoop and score, you know, it sucks.
The sideline play.
Unfortunately for Auburn, you got sacked 10 times. Go play better football. Go play better football. Don't blame the refs first. Go play better football first, and then complain about the refs. But
he's 100% right. 10 sacks is brutal.
You could have won that game if you only gave up 4 sacks. You probably could have won by 2 scores, but you gave up 10.
Auburn.
10. This many.
I mean, Auburn did not look good. They didn't look good at all.
I'll tell you my takeaway. I have a newfound respect for Jackson Arnold. I never really thought much about the guy. You know, Tennessee played him last year. He gets benched. Did not look good in that game. But the clip of him walking out, and there's a Oklahoma fan heckling him, and he just looks at the fan and goes, "You wish you were me?" That's so hard. That's hard. That's like, how do you come back for that if you're a fan? I think if I had season tickets and somebody said, I think I'd sell my tickets. I don't think I'd come back. That's brutal. You wish you were me.
Did we get a chance to see the fan? Did we see who?
Not in any of the angles I saw. I saw 2 angles. I did not see the fan. No, but you wish you were me that's top rope, brother. That is top rope. Speaking of top rope, Texas Tech. Woo. Oh, Utah. That was a beating. That was a real beating.
That was one that we were all. I think we were all on. Were we all on the Texas Tech Red Raiders on that game?
Yes.
I don't know how you couldn't be. You know, speaking of wanting to be people, you should want to be a lot of the players on Texas Tech the way they're paying them with NIL, and rightfully so. They showed their worth this weekend.
They earned that check.
mean, what I was going to say, to do it, and really to go up the way they went up and really start dominating that game with a backup quarterback is really impressive, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 'cause that was a very close game. Whenever quarterback goes down, backup comes in and just absolutely dominates.
So does this put a new lens on how bad UCLA is? I mean, they're just, you can't go any lower, I don't think. It's just kind of, I do feel for one guy that's a UCLA fan, Liam Blutman. He really wants it to be great. I'll tell you who's also a tough spot. Sunbelt Billy.
Sunbelt Billy.
It's time, folks. And we love the Napier family on this show. They mean a lot to us. They're great people. Always have been, always will be. That's a great family, top to bottom. God bless them. It's time. It's kind of like the quote graphic we posted this past week. Everything's falling apart. Fan base is falling apart. The team, he's 100% lost the team. How could you not? And DJ Lagway, I just saw before we started recording, was seen in a boot. It's a dumpster fire. Elkins, break it down for us. How do you feel?
You know, a wise man once told me, you got to score to win games. And these guys are just flat out going out there and not even crossing midfield on a lot of possessions. So if crossing the 50-yard line gave you 3.5 points out of 7, assuming you're kicking a PAT at the end of your touchdown drives, Florida would be okay. They would still be a pretty bad team, losing a lot of games. But these guys, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of ifs in that statement I just spoke, but
yeah.
I'm trying to look at the glass half full aspect. Like you said, Dylan, it's hard not to root for Billy Napier, and at this time there's a lot of people coming at his throat, and it's sad. It's laughable. It's a lot of different emotions there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, if you want to look at the glass half full of this Florida team, it's got to be the defense. I mean, this is a very, very good Florida defense. And it's a damn shame that they don't have any, and I don't say this lightly, there's no semblance of life on that offense whatsoever. Do we know who Florida's backup quarterback is? I don't know.
Harrison Bailey, transferred from Tennessee.
I don't hate that, actually.
He's not bad.
I don't hate that.
He's not bad. I'll tell you what, he's a smart kid. When he took some snaps for us, he did not turn the ball over a lot, which is, I think, a huge step in the right direction for them. You got to just be able to put together drives, even if you're not scoring points. It just stringing together, 6-play drives or whatever they may be, 6-play, 9-play, 10-play, whatever. That goes a long way in confidence with everybody on the field. It really, really does. And I think he'll give them a different look. It's a different type of offense they'll have to run. He's got some legs on him. He can be mobile, but that's not where his mind goes direct.
Well, and I mean, I think this all came at such a good time for them. I mean, with a bye week next week, then the schedule gets a little rough for them. They got Texas at home, which, I really hope the fan base stays around for them. I hope that the fan base shows up for that game, because truly I think that's a game that they could win if the defense plays well. Now, the offense has got to do something, but then they go from Texas to Texas A&M. They go to Kyle Field. That's going to be a tough game to win. Mississippi State at home, and then the big one versus Georgia. So that's a very rough schedule, and it's a really good thing they have that bye week coming up this week. Get healthy, kind of reach up as we used to do, and just flush it, and move on to that Texas game. I'm really excited about that game next week. Think it should be a really good one.
Yeah.
It's tough, I think for Harrison Bailey, at least for him, he shouldn't write down any goals or have anything out of proportion to go do at Florida. But if he does have one goal, end every single drive you play as a starter with a kick. Whether you're punting it on an immediate 3-and-out, that's a lot better than throwing an interception, or you're getting a field goal or a PAT. Do that. If you do that, you're going to help your team win games. And Lagway has not done that thus far. But the defense, man, as you said, Mal, they had a chance against LSU to win that game because of their defense, and their quarterback threw 5 interceptions. So, it's.
But what's funny? DJ Lagway still has more yards than Arch Manning.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing from behind, you do a lot more. But what's the interception difference?
Six interceptions, 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So
yeah.
I just kind of wanted to put one more nail in the Arch Manning coffin real quick.
Speaking of coffins,
if it wasn't shut, it is now.
Nailed shut. Yeah. Speaking of coffins getting nailed shut, AP poll, I'm nailing them. We can't have Illinois in the top 25, and I like Bielema. I'm a Bielema guy. He's a ball guy. He's a ball guy. He got beat by 40 to 50 points? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's not a top 25 caliber team. And I like Luke Altmaier too. I think they got pieces, but you just can't do it. There's just even just me mentioning them in the top, it hurts me a little bit on the inside. And I don't know why AP voters I'm kind of convinced they just randomize at this point. It's sad. AP poll has fallen very, 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 very far.
Yeah, and I mean, Kurt Cignetti's a great ball coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the short time he's been in Indiana, he's really turned that program around. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, nobody's expecting to go out there and beat Indiana, but to get beat the way you got beat and just embarrassed, I mean, no passion, no life, no energy really whatsoever. It's a very tough look, and it kind of goes back to our gripes last week. Now, I don't think Illinois fans will be as brutal. We'll get into this later, but the AP poll has made some very, very, very questionable decisions in the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And Illinois is just another stretch in a long line of just weird rankings.
Yeah.
Elkins.
Certainly, I don't know about you guys, but if I was the parent of like a 7-year-old or 5-year-old son who is just fresh on the scene to watching football and he looks at the AP poll, he's going to ask you a lot of questions that you would probably be asking yourself. Why is Vanderbilt ranked?
Can you say that?
Vanderbilt,
Can you say that? Can you say that in a kid's voice and then do that? Explain it.
the Vanderbilt part?
Yeah, just like, I'll do it. Daddy, why is Vanderbilt in the top 25?
Hey, Dad, why is Vanderbilt ranked number 18?
Well, son, you see, what happens is you have a bunch of really, really dipshit motherfuckers that don't watch the football games and don't even bother to look at the box scores ranking teams. This is what happens whenever you take journalists that only follow one football team and ask them to rank a bunch of teams. You get dipshit responses like this.
Hey,
Illinois is still a top 25 team. They're not.
I will say Vanderbilt is probably a poor example. Illinois probably should be, get out of here. Vanderbilt, They just scored the most points in program history since 1918. So
yeah,
They probably should be ranked.
No, they should be. They 100% should be ranked. Quality of their wins though is not great. Not great quality wins. But we're about to get we're rolling through the season. They will be tested at some point. They will be tested.
I mean, and say what you want about Vanderbilt, but did y'all see the picture of Vanderbilt Stadium? I mean, that is the first time that it's been hard to point out an opposing fan in their stadium. And say what you want. I know Dylan has a little bit more of a hatred towards Vanderbilt than Elkins and I certainly do, but I kind of like seeing a halfway decent Vanderbilt.
Hey,
it's fun.
It's fun. I went to a Tennessee game and Jordan Rodgers sat behind me. Aaron Rodgers' little brother played quarterback at Vandy. It was the Tennessee Vandy game. I was probably like 10. I played rock, paper, and scissors with this dude for like the whole game. He was probably so annoyed with me, but very nice dude. And I remember when I was a kid, those were the years where Vandy was very competitive. It was maybe James Franklin years. I can't remember exactly, but it is kind of fun. I want a rival that's good. Like I want an in-state rival that's good. That just makes it better. Do I still want to beat their ass every year? Yeah, 100%. But it feels a little better when you beat them if they're not a just layup win. So
yeah. I mean that's how it's
agreed. And I will go ahead and say for all the people out there listening, I will be boots on the ground October 4th when Vanderbilt visits Tuscaloosa. So I like when a 5-0 undefeated team comes to town. That's always a privilege when you get the chance to give a team their first loss, or maybe they give us our third or second. Who knows?
Get into it.
Speaking of rivalries, today the SEC announced its annual opponents for the next 4 years. I'll quickly kind of go through these. Alabama, you guys have Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. And we'll come back to get your opinions on this, Elkins. Arkansas has Mizzou, Texas, LSU. Auburn has Alabama, Georgia, and Vanderbilt. The Vanderbilt one for Auburn, it's kind of confusing to me, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Florida has Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky. Georgia has Auburn, Florida, South Carolina. Kentucky has Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina. LSU has Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Mississippi State has Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and Alabama. Missouri, Arkansas, A&M, OU. Oklahoma has Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas. Ole Miss has Mississippi State, LSU, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Kentucky. It's a little bit tough draw for South Carolina if Florida ever gets back to where they need to be. Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. Praise the Lord. Texas, Texas A&M, Arkansas and OU, A&M, LSU, Missouri, Texas, and then Vandy has Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. Elkins, how do you feel about your 3 permanent opponents for the next 4 years?
It's easy to point out the miss with LSU not being mentioned. When we utter the words of Dixieland Delight, it's F3 schools, and we went 2 out of 3. So it's a very dynamic business working in the SEC. So you gotta make ends meet at the end of the day. So to Greg Sankey, do better, but I understand that it's not all that easy. Mississippi State, though, it will be fun to play against because that is the closest in proximity school to Alabama. So it makes sense that we would play each other every single year. And boy, I'm glad we get to mark a W on the next 4 schedules. We got to play, Mississippi State's the fake Bulldog. I'm glad Bama gets to play the real Bulldogs a little bit more with our new schedules, but yeah, go ring those cowbells.
Now, how do you feel about Georgia's?
Georgia, Auburn, Florida.
That's all I got.
Those were
I'm happy we get to play Tennessee.
I would have liked to see Tennessee
Auburn.
on there just because.
Oh, I've really got nothing else. I'm just happy that we get to play Auburn and Tennessee as well,
But from the Georgia standpoint, I mean, Auburn and Florida, like I said, those are givens. South Carolina, I'm actually kind of excited about. That's a game that, growing up from, 2009, 2010 to like 2012, back in the Marshawn Lattimore days, I hated South Carolina. I hated Steve Spurrier. And it's kind of fun that we get to relive this almost and bring this rivalry back because, in my opinion, it was a really good rivalry. Georgia and South Carolina, those were 2 really good teams in the East, saw each other every year. And I do like Shane Bieber. Or Bieber? Shane Bieber? Nope, that's a pitcher. That's a pitcher.
Are you a believer?
I am a believer. No, Shane
Not
Beamer. I do like
you. I'm standing on business.
No, I do like Shane Beamer, though. Like I said, I would have liked to see Tennessee, but as Elkins said, it's a business. I think the biggest thing that kind of stood out to me was Tennessee does not have Florida.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. I would have liked to have Florida in there instead of Kentucky, but they're playing this game where they got to kind of even out everyone's schedules, and there's a lot to jumble, and so things got to get pushed to the wayside, and that's being one of them. That's all right.
On a bigger picture, I think they did a good job with some of these West schools between Missouri, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. I think they did a better job out there. Alabama, everybody hates us, so you're not gonna please the Bama fan, and you're not gonna please the teams that want to displease me. So, but yeah, overall, it wasn't completely terrible.
Mal, you said hate a lot in that last sentence. Who do you really hate?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Some transparent. Let's clarify what happened here. Let's clarify. So this past Friday or Thursday, we posted a reel to our all socials, and it was the clip of us last week talking about how I was a Notre Dame hater and that I've never believed in Notre Dame, and they'll have to prove it to me before I can start picking them. Well, a lot of people got up in arms, just on TikTok, by the way. All the other platforms just got a lot of likes. Nobody really said anything. Just on TikTok. We got on Fighting Irish TikTok, which is fine. That's great. And people are, do you know they made it to the college football championship last year? Yes, I know they did. TCU also made it there a few years ago. Unfortunately, and Mal, you brought up a great point about their wins. It doesn't mean that much to me. And people are acting like I'm crazy to say a team that has not won a national championship since 1988 has to prove something. That's 10 years before the BCS. They have not won a national championship in that long, and they act like they are the gods of college football. And it irks me a little bit. I'm a nice guy. I don't like arguing with people. It's not my favorite thing to do. But don't come around and act like we're stupid when you haven't won anything in almost 40 years. That's like absurd to me. That's like so not self-aware.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if somebody was like, Tennessee has to prove it to me before I can start picking them? And I was just like, what are you talking about? We made the playoffs last year. Yada, yada. We won 10 games. Yada, 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 yada. Guess what? We haven't done it consistently enough to win a national championship. I don't care if you win 10 games, 11 games every year. If you're not winning natties, guess what? Gone. Erased. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah, that's my take.
And, you know, a lot of these guys, they got up, and as you said, I took the brunt of a lot of these conversations on TikTok.
Mal was great about responding to everybody. Shout out to
So I got on there, and, you know, at first I tried to reason with these leprechauns. You know, I tried to reason with the leprechaun. Unfortunately, there is no reasoning with the damn leprechaun. The leprechaun has his little pot of gold at the end of his rainbow, his little Lucky Charms. And he thinks that just because he's got his little Lucky Charms, his little marshmallows, it makes him the smartest motherfucker in the room. Well, guess what? You're not. Okay? These guys get up there, and as you said, Dylan, their main argument was, well, we made the college football playoff national championship last year. I'm putting an asterisk beside it. Because guess what? That format was absolute just dog. It was a awful format. If that format would have been this year's format, guess who Notre Dame would have played in the very first round? Guess where Notre Dame would have been
Ohio
headed?
State.
Notre Dame would have been going to the shoe to play Ohio State, and guess what? Bye, you fucking Irish. First round exit, you little leprechauns. First round exit. All right? So let's pump the brakes here a little bit. You got a Indiana team with Kurt Cignetti, who just got relevant again. Wasn't that good of a team last year. Ohio State showed that. Then you go and you get a Georgia team who's playing Gunnar Stockton in his first start ever. Defensively, we owned y'all's asses. Y'all scored 20 points. That should not be enough to win a football game. Unfortunately, Georgia's offense stalled out a lot of that game. Notre Dame had a good defense last year. I'll give it that. Hats off to you. But then you go from that and you play James Franklin, who can't win a big game to save his damn life. And you want to talk to me about, oh, well, we made it to the college football national championship last year. Oh, shut the hell up. You lost to Texas A&M. You got your ass handed to you to Miami. Shut up. Go win some football games. Oh, wait, you don't have any relevant fucking games on your schedule remaining. There's no more relevant games on their schedule. USC is the only game on their schedule that is even a semblance of a good game.
And I respect defending your team, but you also have to be a little self-aware. I will defend Tennessee. Mal will defend Georgia. Elkins will defend Alabama. But we're a little aware. We know what's going down. And I think it's because they see that little, we have 11 national championships with our name, and they think we're top dog. But then you got to sit back and realize it's been almost 40 years since you last won one. And a lot of those were when half the country was freaking drafted overseas. So let's pump the brakes. All right.
I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
Y'all listed a lot of facts. I have no facts for these Notre Dame fans. You're going to lose your third game in Fayetteville this weekend.
Is that a
No, it's not going to be very close. I think Arkansas will probably win this game by 13 points or more.
Wow.
I like it.
So,
we'll
you don't have that SEC mantra, Notre Dame. You don't have it, and you're going to go lose in Fayetteville to one of our little brothers that they're probably losing their coach after that game regardless.
Just lost Memphis. Yeah.
I
I lost like $1,300 on that game. That was horrible. That was such a painful loss.
What?
Yeah, that was the last game I needed. All the other games hit on my parlay, and that was the last one I needed for $1,300, and they fumbled. Yeah, brutal. Anywho,
that is brutal.
Let's switch it over to NFL. That was a very long college segment, but it was a pretty good weekend in college. I think it was an even better weekend in NFL. A lot of fun games to watch this weekend. Somebody who didn't have fun, Bengals. Five turnovers. Them and the Pats. Pats turned the ball over. I think how many fumbles Pats have? 5 or 6?
Something like
that. Brutal. Also, yeah, Jake Browning. How do we feel about him?
I know Elkins is hating him right now because Elkins played the Vikings defense this week in fantasy football.
What'd they put up? 33, Elkins? 32 and a half?
I stopped counting probably after the first pick six, which was on the first drive. Yeah, it was a mess. You know, when you got guys making plays on defense, it's going to make it hard to play well. But I got to give a lot of ups to. I like to praise defensive individual players whenever I can when they have a unreal game. And Isaiah Rodgers of the Vikings had one of those stat lines that makes you lean forward and say, "What did he do again?" This man forced 2 fumbles, had an interception, and scored a touchdown. And you don't really see efforts like that from one single player. Lots of edge rushers can get 3 forced fumbles in a game, this, that, the other. But yeah, from a DB, that's a hell of a game when you're forcing fumbles and scoring touchdowns. He probably solo beat the Bengals this weekend. Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang my head quite yet if I was a Bengals fan. Definitely a concerning loss, but I would much rather lose 1 game really bad than lose 8 games by 1 score. I will say that. So Bengals, you got an opportunity in front of you to bounce back. Don't flip your wounds too long.
And then the status of Joe Burrow, I mean, it's not looking good for the Bengals, though. Status of Joe Burrow, it's, what are they estimating, a December return, I think?
Yeah, that's 3 months.
For him.
3 months.
I kept seeing things online, turf toe, the injury, the meme of the guy looking out of the train with the sunny, and
Turf toe's nasty too. A lot of people don't realize how nasty turf toe is.
Yeah, that's a tough injury.
There was a few guys when my freshman year in college that, it is not. Can't even hardly walk, man. That is, it's tough. Shout out Ben Johnson. That was a total setup for a Bears revenge game, really. Matt Eberflus being.
I want to give him a lot of praise. I think that was his coming out party. It was a matter of time for him to start clicking with that team. I don't think the Cowboys are that great, but they came out and won. Anytime you win big in an NFL game, you should be hanging your head high,
Yeah.
Really, really got to give props there. Good shout out.
Yeah, Bears look good. Bears look real good. I do have a question for both of you. What happened to the Texans?
It's just been 3 and out after 3 and out after just bad. I don't even want to say bad quarterback play. I mean,
yeah,
I've watched a lot of the Texans because I did start CJ Stroud in my first, 3 fantasy games, which don't ask me why I did it. I had 2 weeks of data and then I did it again this week, but he just doesn't have a lot of time to throw. The offensive line doesn't look like they're gelling and meshing at all. And then not only that, I mean, his receivers just aren't really getting open downfield. I mean, Nico Collins finally got him a big one this week. Finally looks like he might be ready to bust out of that shell. I'm not going to give up on CJ Stroud in that offense just yet, but it's not looking good out there. I mean, the offensive line is where it starts and ends. And if that offensive line doesn't get their crap together, it's going to be a long year in Houston.
I like that take a lot. I want to give that defense a little bit of props. I think that's a defense that can go out and help your team win a lot of games, but when you're constantly behind the ball and getting not a lot of rest on consistent 3 and outs from your offense, you're going to start sputtering really hard, and that's what's going down in Houston. Out of that division, the Colts have been super good, but Texans have been super bad. So, I think between all the teams in that division, you look at the Jaguars, you look at the Titans, and I think all 4 of these teams have good, but the Texans have outweighed all of those teams with more bad from what I've seen this year.
I would argue Titans are way worse. And I can get to that in my sport court segment next, but yeah. Oh, buddy, dude, I have a damning case this week, but I do want to point out something rare happened this weekend. We had 2 blocked field goals returned for touchdowns in the NFL.
We did.
Yeah, in the Jets game and then obviously the Eagles game. I'm sorry, maybe it's just me. The Eagles one was so electric. I know it's not if you had Rams plus 3.5, but that was so electric. Just Jordan Davis just scooping it up and huffing. Brother was moving. He was
18
moving.
miles per hour.
Did you see the next gen stats on that thing is what, 18.4 miles per hour for a big man like that is.
That brings up a point. I do have a bone to pick with Amazon. I got such a bone, and I said it like 3 times this weekend because I kept seeing the commercial. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm missing it. Where do these next gen stats? Because in all the commercials, they make it out to seem like it's live as you're in the game. That throw had a 2% chance of getting caught, or he reached this speed, or he covered this much ground. Where is that happening in the live feeds? I'm not seeing that on any of the games I watch.
So Thursday Night Football actually has a special broadcast, the Next Gen Stats broadcast, where, they'll highlight potential blitzers, they'll trace the routes run, they'll track miles per hour. So like all of those live stats are actually in there on the Thursday Night Football games on Prime. Not trying to plug Amazon Prime or anything like that, but that is the only time I've ever seen those live stats, and it is a statistical overload. I mean, if you watch that, I probably, when they first started doing it 2 years ago, I watched that broadcast because I'm like into that kind of stuff, and I remember it just being like, it just not being that many stats. So they must have changed it because I need to check it out. I'll check it out this Thursday because it's been probably 2 years since I've tried it out. But back then when it first started, it was like he ran like 15 miles an hour, or I don't know. It was like very strange. Not what I expected, but yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know that it's gotten better. That's good. I'm a nerd for that stuff. So, any other rounding points for NFL this weekend? I was going to ask you a question. Have the Colts wrapped it up already? I mean, is this the Colts division?
No.
You don't think they've wrapped it up just yet?
Jags will beat them.
You think the Jags will beat them?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. I think the Jags are a better team right now than the Colts.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and call it. We're going to agree to disagree, but congratulations to the 2025 Indianapolis Colts, the AFC South winners.
Hang the banner.
Give them a round of applause. Hang the banner.
Mal, you're a Falcons guy this season, right? Or
I am. I don't want to talk about it.
What's that division looking like? Can we go ahead and give it to the Bucks?
We can 100% go ahead and give that division to the Bucks. It's hard as a Falcons fan right now to look at this team and see them doing anything. Right now we are in the middle of a quarterback controversy. I mean, Michael Penix went out there and just played an awful game, quite frankly. And then Kirk Cousins came in and really didn't do too much better. So, I mean, if you're going to have bad quarterback play, might as well go with a guy you're paying a crap ton of money to have bad quarterback play and save your potential quarterback of the future, in my opinion. Raheem Morris right now, I don't know if that's going to work out, but this goes deeper than Raheem Morris or Arthur Blank. I mean, the CEO of the Falcons, I believe he's been there since 2008, the COO, the operating officer, and he's overseen some really bad hires. I mean, from King Arthur to Raheem to just some of the quarterbacks that we've drafted, just the draft decision to draft Penix after signing Kirk Cousins. A lot of it's just been weird and strange, and a lot of people are calling for his head. I don't know. I'm into the Falcons. I'm not super deep into the Falcons right now, but it's not a good situation in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm glad you made a lot of those points because my sport court was close to getting spoiled there too. But yeah, I'll go ahead and match you guys. I thought one of those was a slight overreaction, but the Bucks winning that division is, I would consider, an overreaction. Chargers, nobody's going to stop them. Chiefs are not winning it this year, and I'm a Broncos guy. I was really pleased with the effort we had against the Chargers, but losing on a field goal walk-off sucks, and then doing it two weeks in a row, It sucks, man. Losing does suck, but losing on the last play is a lot worse. Losing by 30 in Carolina might be worse than 2 losses sometimes. But there's a long season, and these are professional athletes, so I know they're going to figure some stuff out come their bye week. So keep trucking.
Sport court. We're getting back into sport court where we fictionally sue somebody and demand restitution for what they've done to us. All in the sports world. Like I said, fictionally sue. Elkins, why don't you lead us off?
Absolutely. I've got a weird one. I know I just referenced it with the Atlanta Falcons, not trying to have Mal steal some of my thunder here, but there's a gentleman that works for the Atlanta Falcons named Marquise Williams. And I think this guy is just one of Raheem Morris's friends that he brought along for the ride. And he doesn't have a damn clue about how to run special teams because he just must go out there and watch these guys kick the football around and say, all right, that was a good day's work. I think I'm going to go fix me a Jim Beam on the rocks and kick my feet up, because their kicking performance this season has been horrible. And I know these kickers just go out there, they kick a weird shaped object on Sundays, but they practice it every day of the week. And I don't know who is in charge of saying, all right, you kick 66% of your 45-yard field goals through the uprights during practice. That's good enough for me. These guys have got to be kicking. I don't know what the standard is in the NFL, but damn, it seems like anytime they're trying out a kicker for the Falcons, they are not making field goals. And Marquise Williams, this guy has got to be responsible for that. You know, there's plenty of guys that are making field goals in this league, and the Falcons don't know how to do that.
And
that's it.
I mean, I think the worst part, I was about to say, I think the worst part about it is Parker Romo went 5 for 5 last week. I mean, he comes out, goes 5 for 5, and then misses 2 field goals.
Yeah, you know, I'm probably not winning this case. Is he had a great game and ultimately won them that game in Minnesota. But those were all cheap shots. I'm not buying it. I don't understand what they go out and see week to week, because
what would your restitution be?
I think I know what it should be.
What do you got,
I got
Falcons fan? I want to hear it from you. I think he just needs to tell him to kick better.
I think the Falcons need to go out and sign Justin Tucker. Yeah. You know what?
I'm talking about.
Would you say Justin Tucker? Is that what you said?
No. Okay. Well. He might have a sketchy past, but here's the thing.
I am against
We've had Michael Vick.
Tuckers.
We've had Michael Vick. We've had Michael Vick with the Dogs. That's really about the only
I was about to say,
bad thing I can think of.
I was
really
curious what
else.
the second one of that was going to be.
The second one is going to be Justin Tucker. Tucker. Damn it! You know what? I don't care if he can help you win football games. Go sign him for like $100,000. Put him on the minimum. Just keep him secluded. Keep him in a weird area in the practice facility, and just send him out there every Sunday to kick a field goal, man. Like, just pay him the league minimum. But, I mean, I think that'd be pretty funny.
Just a funky, unshaded area at the practice facility.
Yeah.
This cat, you can't let him get into the shadows. Unshade. No shade for you, Justin Tucker.
Yeah, I'm not buying the Romo hype yet on this kicker after that Vikings performance, because it's okay to miss field goals, but this guy was missing them pretty bad. You know, that 55-yarder, you know, that's probably not a guarantee for an NFL kicker unless you're Aubrey from the Cowboys. But that first kick, it looked like a high school kicker.
Mal, do we think Elkins won that case?
You know, just because I'm a Falcons fan as well, and I absolutely hate the fact that the Falcons cannot seem to have consistency at the kicker spot. Hell yeah, you won that. Okay. Congratulations.
I'm gonna
right.
have one more remark on that. I'm gonna say this shouldn't be a case. It should be an investigation. I think Marquise Williams only has a job because he's friends with Raheem Morris.
Why don't you do a background check on him real quick, Elkins? Why don't
Do
you
that,
pull
and I'll
that
get into
phone out?
my,
Pull the phone out. I need a history on this cat. Let's hear it. Matt, go ahead. Give us your sport court.
So I am going to be suing the New York Giants stadium operation, game day ops. First and foremost, it would not be a TPC episode if we did not have at least one mention of our queen. And the Giants played a little gotcha on everybody at MetLife Stadium with a Taylor cam. Got everybody excited. Thought Taylor Swift was going to be there. Why would she be there? I don't know. But if I was in that stadium, I'd be super excited to see Taylor Swift. And I'll be damned if they don't pull Lawrence Taylor out instead of our queen Taylor Swift. I mean, that is just absolutely absurd. Puffing on a cigar. Whoever decided to troll us Swifties like that deserves to be sued, because you do not mess around about our Taylor Swift.
That's pretty funny. If you're not a Swiftie fan, us Swifties are pissed.
I am pissed.
Right before she has a new album. That's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's bullshit.
Absolutely bull. Now, again, I don't know why she would have been at a Giants game.
What's your restitution, Mo?
Boys, what do y'all think it should be?
To death.
Because I don't think anybody getting fired. I don't even want them fired. You know.
We should go to the Twitter. We should go to the Swifties on Twitter now. So.
Well, I think I know what my restitution is. Whoever is in charge of the game day operations for the New York Giants can never listen to Taylor Swift ever again.
Hell.
That's hell. That's hell. That's hell.
You're sending them to hell.
That's hell. That's actually hell. I mean, imagine not being able to listen to our queen Taylor Swift and Shake It Off and, I mean, Red. I mean, the entire Red album, man. I mean, gosh, how can you not love Taylor Swift?
Sounds like a cruel summer. I don't know if that's a song of hers. I don't know if it actually is.
It is.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Yeah, Mousy and Red.
Clock it.
You win that case. Yeah. Is this what the girls do now?
Clock it.
That
and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. I saw something really strange. Did you guys see what I sent you? The Jameer video?
Dude, I couldn't get it to pull up.
Somebody, hold on. I just got to show it. This is, before I get into my sport court, this is strange to me. I don't know why people do this. Hold on. Let me pull this up.
Derrick Henry just got stuffed at the goal line.
Hold on.
For everybody that doesn't know, we record these during Monday Night Football. What? Wait,
ready?
Eat out.
What? Bro? I don't know. Very strange. It was like,
hell is wrong with people?
I really don't know. That's very, very strange. But, all right. This might be the most passionate sport court I've had. I have been a Titans fan my entire life. Yes, folks, I'm still alive somehow. And let me tell you, I have not seen worse coaching than I'm seeing right now with Brian Callahan. I'm actually astounded. Before this game happened, I was at B-Dubs with my mom, Buffalo Wild Wing, my mom and dad. We were watching the first half. It was electric. Wings are great. Shout out B-Dubs in Nashville. And my mom asked me how many more games we got to lose, and do I think Brian Callahan will be there this year? My answer before this game was, I think they'll give him another year with Cam Ward. That was my answer before this game. After this game, I am still surprised as of Monday night at 8:16 Central Time, the 22nd of September, 2025, in the year of our Lord, that he is still the Titans head coach. Am flabbergasted. This man called one of the most atrocious games on one of the most unprepared teams I've ever seen in my life. So much so, Michael Pittman Jr. came out after the game and said, we could tell in warmups, these guys just didn't want to be there. They did not want to play today. They had no bounce, nothing. They did not want to be there. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say that about an NFL game. These guys are getting paid millions and you don't even want to be there. That's crazy. Not only that, not having them ready to play. There was a drive right before half. I think it was 16-6 or 7. The Colts winning, of course. And we have the ball 6-7. And I still don't know what the fuck that means, but I really don't know. And we have the ball on an opponent territory. I think it was like the 44, 45, something like that. And it's 4th and 1. Cam Ward is looking at the sidelines saying, we got to go. We're going for it. He's right. That's what you should do in this game. There's like a minute left on the clock. We need to go. Yes. Well, we don't know what we're doing. Colts thankfully take a timeout. You would think we would have a chance to gather ourselves, right? We send the offense back out there. We take a timeout. You think we'd have a chance to gather ourselves, right? We send the kicking team out there. We get a delay of game. We get a delay of game after a Colts timeout, a Titans timeout, and we get a delay of game, making it a 62 or 63-yard field goal. And guess what, boys? We didn't make the field goal. Shocker. Not only that, the play calling is terrible on offense. The offensive line play is the worst I have ever seen in the NFL. The worst I've ever seen in the NFL. I feel really bad for Tony Pollard. I feel really bad for Cam Ward. I will say Cam holds onto the ball a little too long sometimes. He needs to work on that. I feel really bad for Tony Pollard. This guy, I still think he's like kind of in his he is a good back if he can get some space. He is a good back. And I've never seen someone so consistently tackled at the line of scrimmage than I do in the Titans games. Anybody that has the ball. It's actually kind of impressive. So, Brian Callahan, I'm suing you for being the biggest fraud head coach of all time. Fun fact for you listeners and you guys right here. Out of his first 30 games, he has the lowest win percentage in NFL history as a head coach.
Wow.
You got to get rid of this guy. And this is going on Amy. This is going on the owner. She's a sweet lady. She kind of screwed us with the Vrabel situation in terms of you brought in a GM that butted head with Vrabel, then you got rid of Vrabel, and then the next year you turn around and get rid of that GM, and then you bring in Callahan, and then you bring in a new GM. It's a whole mess. It's a mess. If you're going to clean house, clean everybody out. But I do think we got to keep our GM that we have this year. He came from the Chiefs. Borgonzi, great GM. I think you just got to get rid of Callahan. Get rid of his bum dad, too. Offensive line play has been horrible. For him to be such a legend, I have never seen such a terrible offensive line. Restitution is goodbye, Brian Callahan. Give me somebody that's going to help Cam Ward make some freaking plays. This kid's special. And I'm not going to sit here and just watch his prime years just float by as we win 2 games a year. Bye.
I don't know about you, Mal. That's a W.
Dumb. Oh, yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with him.
He didn't even
I
have
had facts.
He had the
well,
facts.
back to Bill Callahan. I mean, Bill Callahan has a special blocking sled, Dylan. You want to get rid of that?
You want to get? I am so sick of seeing that damn tweet, brother. I am so sick. Hey, he has a 380, pound sled. If you don't hit it, hey, Matt, guess what? If you don't hit it, if you don't hit it just right, it ain't moving. Well, guess what, brother? I don't know what I think it's messed them up because they can't block a normal human now. They're probably so used to blocking this 380-pound sled, they can't block a normal human. We know hitting a sled, it sucks. It's probably one of the worst, the worst things we do as offensive linemen. But yeah,
duck walk was awful.
Yeah. Shout out Bill Mayo. I saw him the other week. Love that guy. But yep, that is Sport Court for us. Yeah. Let's get into Good Boy. We have been very, very hot on Good Boy. Hand up. I cost us our undefeated Good Boy season.
I want to give us an extended little nugget on this Sport Court. And a week ago, I said I wanted to get rid of some personnel in that Braves front office. But I will say, pending the result of tonight's game, the Braves have won 9 games in a row. And that's it. I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want to mess them up.
I was very close to suing the Braves because how the hell do you just rattle off 9 wins after you've been eliminated? But I didn't want to sue the Braves twice, 2 weeks in a row. It just seems like overkill. But I agree with you, Elkins. Hopefully we can get Sean Murphy healthy. Drake Baldwin's a beast. Hassan Kim.
Agreed.
Like a beast.
Agreed.
2026 is going to be a fun year for the Atlanta Braves.
Count the days.
Count the days, 2026,
Good
count
boy.
down. Let's get into our
Who's a
good boy. Just to refresh everybody's memory, good boy. Who's a good boy is where we pick underdogs in the college football world that are 6.5-point favorites or more. It's very simple. How many bones you get for that game is just what they cover by. Mal had a huge week this week. He had Syracuse plus 17.5. Got himself up to 37 bones. Elkins also with another big one. Maryland plus 9.5 at Wisconsin. He has 37 bones. So Mount Elkins are tied at first. I rounding up the end. I fell for Hair Jordan at UNC. I really thought they'd give UCF a game. I was not really expecting this, but
Bounce house, baby.
Shout out Taven Jackson. He looked good too. So that was on me. So we are 5-1 straight up underdogs. That's pretty freaking good. That's pretty freaking good, boys. For 6.5 points or more. I'm
good,
sorry
boys.
I ruined it. That's good, boys. The brothership. I'm going to try to be better. Try to be better. That's on me. Elkins, you are our leader. You have been grandfathered in because you were there last week. So why don't you give us your good boy of the week?
Well, when I say this pick, y'all are probably going to think that I'm trying to lose. But let me tell you, there's a player that has 51 carries this season at running back. He's a starting running back for this team that I'm taking. And he has 9 touchdowns on 51 of those carries. He's an X factor. He's going to go impact any game he plays in, even if he's playing against the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's why I've got the Washington Huskies.
Great pick.
Plus 9.5. And I'm not going to be shocked if they win this one. Julian Sayin hasn't taken care of the football. Washington has a quarterback that takes care of the football. And, when you want to pick upsets, you go look at the teams that have ball security. And that's why I took Maryland last week. And it's why they blew out Wisconsin. Wisconsin doesn't know how to take care of the ball. Ohio State, they have 3 wins, but they have a starting quarterback with 3 interceptions. They've got the best player in the country. But damn it, if Washington can make 2 or 3 good plays on the back end with those DBs and safeties and corners, give me the Huskies. You heard it here first.
You said 9.5, right?
9.5. You can get them for plus 270 on the money line. I would probably do one of those two. As Ohio State is the number.
Option, brother.
It is hard to go up and take a team, no matter who it is. If Miami's the number 1 team in the country and they're playing an unranked, it's tough to take that unranked team, let alone the defending champion Buckeyes. But damn, I really like what I've seen from this Huskies team. They're probably pissed off they're not ranked right now going into this game.
Yeah.
That's my pick. It's going to be a fun game.
Fun nugget
weekend.
too. Elkins, all 3 of your good boys have been plus 9.5. Are you riding the mojo on that?
I saw the number. I honestly saw the number first, and I was like, "Who's plus 9.5 this week?"
Are you so you are playing into it a little bit?
Maybe a little
You
bit,
have to.
but why should I not?
Hey, I will say this right now. If the Washington Huskies beat Ohio State, I will buy you a custom hat that says Mr. 9.5 on it.
I love it.
Wow.
Okay. Virtual shake.
Can there be like
Virtual
a dog
shake.
or something on there? Because the Huskies are a dog.
Husky.
And
Yeah,
And we
I'll
are
put
the
a
good
dog on
boys.
there. I'll put a dog on there. Mr. 9.5. There you go. Mal, you finished. You're in second technically.
Well,
Go ahead.
I will say Elkins did. So I don't know if the listeners know this, but we do not share our good boy picks with each other. So Elkins being going first this week only had to have 1 pick. I had to have 2 picks. My first pick just got taken by Jackson Elkins. I think
Wow.
that's a great pick.
Wow.
I really do.
Wow,
Okay.
first
So
time.
you guys were on it. Okay.
So
Wow.
my second pick, I just looked at the line, and the line has actually moved from 6.5 down to 4.5. So it is now disqualified.
Wow.
So I'm having to think on the fly here. My second pick was going to be the Arkansas Razorbacks. They opened up at 6.5 point underdogs, but have slowly started creeping down to 4.5. Not financial advice, but I would jump on our Arkansas while you can. Okay, but here we go. So other than that, I haven't really done any research. I am going to ride the big line wave, and solely because I was at this school for a year. We've got Georgia Southern versus James Madison. James Madison is a 16.5-point favorite. The big spread worked for me last week. Georgia Southern, what are you upping on there for, Elkins?
I love these James Madison Dukes, man, but I'll let you finish. I think Southern football needs to be taught to some.
So Georgia Southern football, there's really not much to it right now. 2-2 on the year. Just kind of a mediocre team. James Madison, great team. Like I said, wasn't much research done in this. I came into this with 2 picks. One of my picks got taken. My other pick is now invalidated due to the line. So I am panicking. I'm on the spot. I'm putting my money line streak in jeopardy here. Give me the Georgia Southern Eagles plus 16.5 for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. Other than I panic picked them.
All right. I have 2 I'm trying to work through here.
Mississippi State.
Okay. Hell no. Can I talk through these? Is that okay if I talk through these with you guys? Is that fine? Or is that against the rules?
Let's do it.
Pick one.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know. I think you gotta make a pick.
I will just say this. Kansas State is 6.5-point favorites over UCF, which is kind of crazy to me. Kansas State has looked bad, but the fact that I even thought that makes me think Kansas State's now going to cover. Okay.
Well, he's in his own head.
Yeah, I am. I caused us the perfect streak. Give me the Kentucky Wildcats plus 6.5 versus South Carolina. This South Carolina team, folks, absolute frauds. Absolute frauds. Let me tell you what Beamer Ball is. Beamer Ball is talking a big game, getting all your fans excited for a new season, and then absolutely blowing ass when the season comes time to play. That's what Beamer Ball is. Trust me. Give me Mark Stoops plus 6.5. And I'll tell you why. Because this is one of the games Kentucky wins. It's like Ole Miss a few years ago. But even though, South Carolina's not that good. Compared to that Ole Miss team. This is one of those games where it allows him to be the head coach for the next 50 years plus. It's one of his 6 wins he'll have this year, maybe 5. Give me Kentucky 6.5 versus the Gamecocks. I'm sorry, Jerry, if you're watching this, my buddy Jerry. I know he's a Gamecocks fan. He'll probably be at this game, but Gamecocks 6.5.
Yeah. I was going to say honorary good boy. Just because it's a 43.5-point spread is the University of Massachusetts going to play Missouri. Honorary good boy this week.
Who are they playing?
Missouri. It is UMass versus Missouri, and UMass is a 43.5-point dog in this game. So that's definitely not going to be an outright winner. If it is, good Lord have mercy. But
dude, can you imagine? If one of you guys hit it, that's probably wraps for the year.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of ball left to be played.
A lot of games, but let's go ahead and, speaking of ball to be played, this is a massive, 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 massive college football weekend this weekend. Massive weekend. We have Mal's Georgia Bulldogs playing the Falcons, Alabama's Crimson Tide. Who wants to take the floor first here? I want to hear what you guys got to say about this game. I think it'll be an interesting one. I have a feeling, a little nudge where I think this game's going to go, but I'd like to hear what you guys think.
So, because Georgia's hosting, I want to go ahead and give the floor to Jackson Elkins as the visitor going into this game. I
appreciate that now. For a school that takes a lot of pride and having a harder admission rate. If you can't get into school at Georgia, you're going to go to Alabama. Georgia fans aren't
actually.
Very good at
you go to UNG.
Yeah, UNG is right. But regardless, these individuals and their decision-making skills, they're not very good at history because the last time there was a blackout in Athens, didn't really go so well. So I want to just say, like, hey, you could be a little bit smarter than me, but probably read up on some history before you make decisions. That's it. That's the only low blow I have for this game. As far as a player versus player aspect, I'm super excited for the opportunity my team has. We have a opportunity to erase all of the mistakes, miscues, etc., that went on the road at Florida State. But at the same time, if I want to really double down and give my team some praise, this is a must-win football game. And if we go in here and make one mistake on offense, it could cost us the whole game. We have to be efficient, and we've taken care of the ball. But I'll give my keys to the game here after we get Mal's first take on it.
So my first initial take on this game is, damn, I'm glad College Game Day is not going to be there. We all have our superstitions, things like that. I do not like when game day's in Athens. Just seems like this big spectacle. So first and foremost, that is one of the reasons I am excited, even though Georgia's done pretty well when game days come. But when you look at this on paper, Alabama started off the year bad, really bad. But it's a what have you done for me lately league we're in. And lately, Alabama has run the score up on a bunch of really bad teams, quite frankly. And I don't think Alabama's proven. I don't think they're... It's hard for me to say this because it's Alabama, and I've been bit so many times in the past by this.
Mal, can you tell that story of you at the SEC championship game with your dad? It's one of my favorite stories of all time. I love this story.
I will forever love Dan Mullen for this. So this was, what was it? Georgia's first national championship. I was in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
No, I'm not talking about this.
No, you're not talking about the Dan Mullen story.
No, I'm talking about the one when you were a kid.
Oh God, when I was 12 years old.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Love this.
So this was the national championship because whoever won this game was going on to play the little Irish lads up there up north, the guys that haven't won shit since 1988. Yeah, that's right. I didn't forget about you, Notre Dame. Fuck you. So this was the national championship in the Georgia Dome, the old Georgia Dome. Short of the long, Georgia blocks a kick, returns it for a touchdown. Vibes are high. Bama's leading. We got, I think it was like a minute. It's just so foggy in my head, but Georgia has about a minute 30, something like that, to go down the field with Aaron Murray, score a touchdown. Georgia gets down the field, makes a couple plays, interception. Overturned. We're walking down. I don't know if anybody's been to the Georgia Dome, but it's a very spirally, kind of ramp down. So we're walking down. They start reviewing it, and everybody's screaming, running. They're reviewing it. We're already at the bottom of the stadium. We pile in. And then they overturn it. We have life. Aaron Murray goes and hits, Lord, I forget the tight end's name, but his tight end deep over the middle.
Arthur Blank?
Georgia comes up. No, it was not Arthur Blank.
Not Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank is Arthur
Lynch.
Not Arthur Smith. Yeah, Arthur Lynch. You were correct.
Ball
yes.
knower.
Certified ball knower. You didn't know the quarterbacks earlier, but
yeah.
No, but Aaron Murray hits Arthur Lynch right over the middle. Georgia has life. Clock's ticking. No timeouts. Honestly, forever. Love Mark Richt, nicest guy ever, but Mark Richt absolutely screwed us in this game. Georgia had a chance. They were on the 5-yard line. I think there's 10 seconds left. Got to spike the ball. No timeouts. Got to spike the ball. Take 2 shots in the end zone. Nope. Georgia had Alabama on their heels. They go in there. Keep in mind, I'm 12 years old at this game. And I learned later from one of our offensive line, dude, I'm just kind of rambling right now, but damn it, you just got to let me talk through this.
I didn't expect a full damn game breakdown. I was just expecting as you were leaving, that's the only thing I was expecting. You've been going for a few minutes about what exactly transpired in this game. We're talking about Arthur Lynch. We're talking about whoever the hell. Brother, dude, just get to it.
You got to understand what this Alabama team has done to me over my life, brother.
Get to it. Let's go.
Okay, short of the long, Todd Gurley cost Georgia the football game. Speaks it. We get down there. I'm hugging a bunch of people, and then we lose. Are you happy?
That's
Are you
fine.
happy?
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you happy? But no, back to what I was saying here. Alabama didn't look good versus Florida State. Alabama came out and beat up on a bunch of really bad teams. Alabama hasn't been tested, and the one time they have been tested, they failed that test miserably. They're about to walk into Sanford Stadium, which is the hardest place to play in college football. You cannot debate that. 32, 33 straight now at home for the Georgia Bulldogs. Last time Alabama came into Sanford Stadium, whenever it was worth a damn, was 2016, was it? 2015, 2016?
Yes, 2015.
2015, the Mark Richt eras. Alabama's never played Kirby Smart at home other than the 2020 COVID season. Georgia played in Tuscaloosa. Then Alabama has never played Kirby Smart in Sanford Stadium.
That is true.
Alabama's in for a rude awakening Saturday. These Georgia fans are hungry. The students are hungry. This will be the loudest Sanford Stadium has ever been in its entire history. I was at 2022 Tennessee. I was at 2019 Notre Dame. Those are the two loudest games I've ever heard in Sanford Stadium, and I expect this to probably be 15 decibels louder than that. Alabama does not stand a chance in this game. I'm just going to say it. I don't think Alabama stands a chance.
Well, as the man in the middle, I will say this. Georgia is a great football team. I think Alabama is a great football team. For some reason, and I can't quite figure it out. I can't quite figure out why. I got it. Maybe I just need to sleep on it a little bit more this week. My initial gut right now is heartbreaker. Bama wins somehow, some way. I don't know why. I don't know. There's no reasoning to it. I don't know. That's where my gut is right now. I'm very bipartisan. I hate both of your teams. I get nothing out of it, but that's where my gut is. But if you were to line them up position by position, I'd probably go with Georgia on the paper, but I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me during the week and I'll tweet it. So who knows?
Well, I mean, you have a lot of years of history to back that claim up with. And like I said, I've been burned many a times, but I think this is finally the time where I can sit there and say that Georgia wins a football game versus Alabama by 10 plus points, and it's never close. I genuinely think that's what we can expect this
Falcons,
week.
Go ahead.
This is very interesting. I think we've got a pair of quarterbacks that it's always good to go see two quarterbacks that are good at taking care of the football. And usually when that's the case, you have to start looking at other positions, because if what you're working with on a 2-1 Bama team is a highly efficient quarterback with touchdowns, no turnovers, that's really good. Gunnar Stockton, on the other hand, he's taking care of the football. He's mobile. He's got a lot of good stuff going for him. So what areas are these two teams going to have to make up ground to actually win this game big, or just win the game outright? I think it's going to be a nail biter. This is going to be a tight game. I want to say Bama's got the edge on the defensive side of the ball, which is not always the case. Georgia's mantra is defense. I think this Tide defense is built different in the secondary. I see Georgia being able to move the ball well, but not well enough. I think whoever makes the first mistake on offense is going to lose this game. As for a score prediction,
fair assumption.
Yeah, I think whatever quarterback makes the first mistake is going to lose this game. And I could see that first mistake happening 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I think it's going to be really well coached players going out and executing. And it's, as an outsider fan, Dylan, I'm a little jealous, but I got spoiled 2 weeks ago with the Vols and the Dogs. So, it's the SEC. This is how it goes.
I'm excited to watch, brother. I'm excited, man.
Do you want to? I know y'all didn't
give your score prediction.
Yeah,
give your score.
I don't know if y'all did a
keys.
Score prediction for the Vols Dogs, but I'm gonna ride my boys here. I'm gonna say it's a race. It's a race to 30 points in this game, and I think Bama's gonna get there first. They're gonna win 32-24.
So you talk about Bama having the defensive advantage, and statistically and from what we've seen, I can see it. But what a lot of people don't realize about that Tennessee game, and Dylan and I touched on it last week, was Georgia did not have bad coverage in that game. Tennessee's wide receivers went up and made plays. I mean, the 2 long touchdown passes, the Georgia defenders were all over. I mean, Dylan was there. Dylan saw it. They went up and made plays. Can Alabama's receivers go up and contend these 50-50 balls and make those plays? Because if they can't, the Georgia secondary is there. Now, offensively, we have yet to see Ty Simpson go band for band with another team. Gunnar Stockton, it's true.
I know, but still, that's a funny. Funny.
Whenever Ty Simpson, the hardest, or the Ty Simpson that we saw against Florida State, it's not the same Ty Simpson we're seeing now, I'll give you that. But that Ty Simpson's still deep down. He's still in there. And if that Ty Simpson struggled at Florida State, in a stadium that's really not that intimidating to play at, quite frankly, I might get a little flack for that, but it's nowhere near 93,000 strong in Sanford Stadium. It might be a long day for Ty, especially if that Georgia defense can get pressure. Now, that's something that Georgia didn't do against Tennessee. Tennessee's offensive line did a great job. But if Georgia gets pressure in this game, and Gunnar Stockton goes out and protects the ball and plays the way he did against Tennessee, Georgia wins this game 34-17.
Good stuff. I'm ready for it to happen.
I'm ready.
I'm really not worried, to be quite frank with you. There's so much talent in the SEC, and for me to give just only credit to one team in Georgia, which Georgia in recent history has probably been the best team in the SEC, I'm not worried one bit. You know, I'm honestly more worried about Oklahoma coming to Tuscaloosa at this current time. But
you know,
opinions
I
are
wouldn't
like
be worried
bowls.
either.
Opinions are like bowls. Yeah,
I was just gonna say. I mean, I wouldn't be worried either. You know, worst case scenario, y'all lose this game, then you lose to Tennessee, you lose to Oklahoma. You're staring down a 5 or 6 loss season. I wouldn't be worried.
Yeah, not worried. I will give you this nugget. This is my last.
Yeah, he just ate that. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, man. This is my
I
last.
love you, Elkins.
This is my last nugget on the game. Kalen DeBoer is undefeated, coming off bye weeks. We'll see you at 6:30 Central Time.
Wow.
Because
that's 7:30.
Central Time is also known CT Championship Time for those that aren't aware. So
it is the best time zone. Central Time rocks.
I will give you that. Central Time
for football.
Is nice.
Central Time rocks.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next. We have more games this weekend. We'll kind of quickly go through these. We already kind of discussed Ohio State, Washington, Oregon, Penn State. I have a take on this game. Oregon's going to beat Penn State by 14 plus. Hey, people, don't forget James Franklin. He's the head coach of Penn State. Don't forget that.
Yeah. He still is.
That's about all you need to know for this game. Elkins, any input?
Yeah, I'm gonna like the Ducks a lot come Saturday. Today, I want to say I like Penn State at home to make enough plays to keep it closer than 14. But really, winning the game's not on the table for them at this current time, from what I've seen.
Yeah. Yep. Don't get offended when I say James Franklin has to prove it to me, folks. And then
I think Penn State fans are right there with you.
Yeah, I don't know how they're not sick of that, man.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because they get grandfathered in the top 10 every year, even though they're do nothing to prove that they're top 10?
Well, I mean, I just think, this is a rabbit hole we already went down. Let's not piss off another fan base.
That's true. They really don't have anything to talk about, so it's fine. LSU Ole Miss. I kind of just want to see Brian Kelly I want to see his head explode. That would be fun. Aside from that, I'm excited to watch it. I don't know. I just want to see him implode.
I mean, I don't really have much. I mean, LSU's offense has not looked good. I think this past weekend showed Florida's defense is actually a lot better than we really expected it to be. So can't really hold too much against LSU in that game. It's just going to come down to Ole Miss in that quarterback position.
Boy, oh boy, it would have been a big mistake for me if I said Tulane was my good boy of the week last week, because Ole Miss showed that they can play football, and I think they're going to display that some more this week. LSU, man, the world was on their knees, like just talking about how good the Tigers are, how they're the real Death Valley, this, that. Oh my gosh, I'm sick of it. Give me the Rebels, man. I don't know. Like, this is a great game, and the games have to be played. But from what I've seen, I think Ole Miss is going to make a lot more plays than LSU.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Any final points before we get to the Blurby Derby to end the show?
I have some devastating news. Is this breaking news? No. This is okay. Regarding Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay.
So the Lions were up 14-7. I had a parlay out. It was the same game parlay, looking great. Derrick Henry scored his touchdown. Laporta's getting some touches. Jared Goff's getting completions. The last thing I needed was a double result. I had the Lions to win the first half and the Ravens to win the second half. And I'll be damned if the Ravens didn't take the ball with a minute left and score a touchdown to tie it at the half. So,
oof.
R.I.P. the parlay. R.I.P.
Oof. All right. Let's move into Blurby Derby, where we race horses, virtual horses, and whoever wins has 30 seconds to say their piece as we end the show. They get the last word. Yeah. Can you guys see this? Are we good?
Yes, I can.
All right. Let me go ahead and turn this music off. God, I hate this music.
The music.
All right, let's look at our riders this week. Elkins, white horse. Ooh, you kind of got some swag to you this week, Elkins. Look at you.
A little bit better.
Yeah. Mal, look at this. Look at this. You gotta like that. You gotta like
it a
that.
lot. I like it a lot.
And then I'm an absolute utter fashion chaos over here.
I see a checkerboard.
It's checkerboard, but it's blue. I think I have a green top on and a pink sleeve and then a yellow horse. It makes no sense. All right. Boys, are we ready?
Count it down. Let's go.
All righty. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Okay.
They're rolling.
Oh.
They're rolling.
Elkins. The closest opening 5 seconds we've ever had.
I know. We're all pretty tight. Mal's lagging a little bit behind.
That's good for me, though.
We're close.
Get on the horse.
Oh, come on.
I'm taking the lead.
Make a charge.
Make a charge right now. Elkins is falling to the back. Mal's in second. I am clobbering away.
Right where we want him.
Come on.
I'm clobbering away. I'm here. Mal's coming in. Elkins coming back from the back. Elkins from the back.
Here we go.
Here comes
He's contesting. He's stealing. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
I love it.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll get your clock going, buddy. How about that 2-time Blurby Derby champion?
Back to back. All right. I wasn't expecting this.
Your minute starts in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans a little bit more. And Amy, our owner, my sweet Amy. Listen, Amy, you're great. You've done a lot of great things for this city. You've given it back. You've been super kind. You've done a lot for Nashville, and we appreciate you, and we love you. But if you do not fire this bum, Brian Kelly, if you do not bust his ass on the concrete, I ought to see a box full of his, what did I say?
Kelly. We'll give you 5 more
Kelly.
seconds.
Sorry, Callahan. Thank you, Callahan. Sorry, we were just talking about him. If you do not fire this bum, Brian Callahan, box on the sidewalk, ass on the curb within the next few weeks, I'm going to be absolutely flabbergasted. And I'm going to be convinced she does not want to make any tough decisions as an owner. And you have to. You have to. You cannot be soft in this league. Hell, look at the Colts' new owner. She's over there with a headset. She don't know nothing. Probably not. I don't know. But she's a billionaire and she's making tough decisions. You got to get rid of Brian Callahan until he's gone. I'm going to be skeptical. All right.
I'll take it.
That is all we have for this week's The Pass Club. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening. We got an exciting one next week. We're going to recap Georgia and Alabama, talk a little about everything else that happened. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. It helps us out. And go follow us on all socials at Pass Club Pod. And we will see you next week.
Go Dogs.